Now I would like to welcome our speaker for today, Shrishti Singh. Shrishti is basically a Web3 entrepreneur with her startup in the Web3 domain. She has 3 years of full stack development experience and is here to share her knowledge with us. We welcome you, Shrishti, and I would now like you to take it over. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today, I am Shrishti Singh. I'm a Web3 lead and co-founder at UnicusOne. I'm going to share an insight into decentralized storage. So the world around us is progressing at a very rapid pace, and so is the technology. The best part is that we are becoming conscious of our actions on board and also our virtual privacy. All the so-called intelligent machines operate on the basis of information fed to them. Data is the new oil. Companies developing these machines need data. The more, the merrier. Data trade has become a $1 trillion affair these days. And all this is done by putting our privacy on stake. To tackle this, we needed a more democratic solution for data storage. This is when decentralized storage comes into play. To understand what a decentralized storage is, we first need to understand what a centralized storage is. A centralized storage is a system that stores all the data on a single server. So all the actions we do on web, all the personal information we provide to a website, all those are stored on a central server. Decentralization comes into play and splits the user files into different encrypted fragments and allocate them to different nodes or networks. And this is how a distributed secure ledger of files is being created. And this is on the blockchain. This makes our data secure. Not even a single node would be able to decrypt the data which is being stored there because that is in the form of hash and it is being encrypted using cryptography and algorithms such as SHA-256. Why do we need decentralized storage? We already have central servers in place, but why do we need it? So when decentralized storage comes into play, the security enhances. So no one is able to hack the decentralized storage. In centralized storage, all our data is stored at a single point on a single server. So the problem with one server could lead to the data breach of all the users. In decentralized storage, this is not the case. Each and every data is divided into several fragments and stored on different nodes. And each of these nodes are not even able to decrypt the data because again, it's hash. So the security is enhanced a lot. It's an open source service. Anyone is able to utilize and use it. It's an inexpensive solution. The central storage database is an expensive affair and time and money is needed to be invested on setting up those servers. But decentralized storage is as it's a computer network. So they even reward the users who provide storage at their system. It's very fast as compared to the centralized server. Decentralized storage is very fast. Within seconds, you get the IPFS or the hash of the file you have stored. And also, if you become one of the nodes in those decentralized secure network, you get the opportunity to earn money. So how does it work? So let us suppose you have a file which you have uploaded on a decentralized server. The file gets split into several parts. And then again, these parts are encrypted using cryptography or some kind of algorithm. And these encrypted files are stored on different nodes. This all together forms the decentralized storage. So as we can see, no single computer has access to all the files. It's all fragmented and also it's encrypted and it cannot be decrypted by any node. The cryptography algorithm is tried and tested and Merkle hash tree is used to do the same. Storage system economy. We all know how data, we all know it's a famous saying that data is the new oil and the number says it all. As the number of users of the web are increasing, so is the need to store their data. By 2025, there will be over 100 gigabytes of data stored in the cloud. Cloud data centers will process 94% of all workloads in 2021. In 2020, the total worth of the market was $371.4 billion. It's projected that the market will increase up to $832.1 billion by 2025, with an overwhelming 94.44% of data being stored on Google Drive, which again is a centralized cloud storage. So we can see the economy is growing at a tremendous pace. But again, along with that, the users are becoming conscious of their data privacy. They don't want to, they don't want the websites to store cookies and informations of their data and sell it to a third party in order to make money. They need the right to privacy. So again, if we put into decentralization in this scenario, this could be leveraged very well. Now let's see what's the basic difference between centralized storage versus decentralized storage. So centralized storage uses a centralized single server. All the data is stored at a single point. The breach of which could lead to the breach of all the files stored on that server. On the other hand, decentralized storage works on a peer-to-peer network. It's a distributed network of computers that store the files or the fragments of file available. So this enhances the security as well. In centralized storage, you lack the ownership of your data. So if you have stored your information on a centralized server, whosoever owns that server owns your data. But on decentralized storage, only you are the owner of your data. It is being stored on different nodes, but no one is able to decrypt it except you. So you are the sole owner of your data and the ownership is preserved, which is like a fundamental right of any web user. So centralized storage has a very high cost. We have seen Google server storage. Those are large room with large computational power and servers being set up. On the other hand, decentralized storage is a low cost affair because there are different networks being computer networks being connected together. And we don't need to set up those large server rooms. Centralized storage is relatively slower. Decentralization process happens faster. So the fragmentation of all the files and encryption and decryption happens at a faster pace as compared to the time taken by the file to be stored on a central server. Central server is vulnerable to security threats. The reason we have already discussed that it's being stored at a single point. So a single point is responsible for all security vulnerability which we have. On the other hand, decentralized storage has a greater security and privacy, and the breach of which is next to impossible, because to hack those, the hacker needs to hack more than 51% of the nodes out there, which is next to impossible. Hacking more than 51% of the networks or the computers in a decentralized network is next to impossible. So the security level and the privacy level increases in this case. Centralized storage, there are higher chances of losing your file. Any mishap happens, be it with the server room, be it the server, any technical glitch, all the files are being lost and the recovery is next to impossible. On the other hand, in decentralized storage, as the files are stored in segments, there's only a minimal file loss. There are very less, the chances of losing a file decreases many folds in decentralized storage. So now moving on to what is Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is the third iteration of World Wide Web. Everything which we discussed is based on the web. The data which is being collected by us, our actions and operations which we do is based on the World Wide Web. So It's the need to discuss Web 3.0, which is the latest iteration. Web 3.0 has blockchain as its underlying technology. Again, blockchain blockchain is a secure distributed ledger, similar to the ledger or the network of computer nodes which we discussed for a decentralized storage network. Blockchain is a network of nodes, and it's secure and distributed as well. Web 3.0 propagates decentralization. That means no central authority should have the right to operate. A user is the owner of their action, and privacy is preserved at all cost. In Web 3.0, the user is able to read, write, and execute the transactions on web. There is no third party behind the scene operating it on their behalf. So the relevance of decentralized storage in Web3. As Web3 propagates decentralization, decentralization is the fundamental principle of Web 3.0. Again, decentralized storage ensures that decentralization is being maintained. So it's also based on blockchain technology. It advocates the privacy protection, data standby redundancy, and value-oriented data by providing network nodes and content uploaders with incentives. The integration of decentralized storage with blockchain provides strong scalability, high security, high efficiency, automatic fault tolerance, high reliability, and low cost. So all these perks are being benefited to Web3 because decentralized storage has been incorporated in it. So this is the relevance of having decentralized storage. The security increases manyfold, fault tolerance increases manyfold, the cost is reduced a lot, and the reliability is very high. Also, the ownership of data and privacy of data of a user is preserved at all cost. So some popular decentralized storage solutions are Sia.tech, which is a cloud-based decentralized storage. So the information is stored on cloud, but it's decentralized, again divided into fragments and encrypted. Filecoin, Filecoin, we must have heard of IPFS or Pinata. While we mint an NFT, which is a non-fungible token, we upload the metadata or the basic information about that NFT onto an IPFS. From IPFS, we get a unique hash. So any data, so suppose I upload an image twice, I will get the same hash because it's being encrypted in such a way that a file is being converted into a hash, and that is the unique identifier of an NFT, which makes it a non-fungible token or unique. So basically, decentralized storage forms the basis of non-fungible token by providing a unique identity to each and every file that is being uploaded. So yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you for listening, and I'm free to all the questions. Please put them out if you have any.
Thank you, Shrishti, for this great session. Even I enjoyed it. Yeah, we'll see if we have any questions. So what do you think, Shrishti, like how will decentralized storage change things that happen in a democracy? Because I've heard like people are not really accepting to it.
Yeah, basically, wherever we have a strong central authority running behind the scene, they'll always oppose it. Even when it comes to crypto, the government is opposing because they have all the control over the fiat going on, right? All the money and all the monetary processes are being converted, controlled by them. And when they see that the users or we are becoming independent of them and operating our money on our behalf, they become a bit insecure because that is their way of earning money, right? So wherever a centralized authority is involved, they'll always oppose it. But providing the user the best web experience is the basic fundamental of web. If we are propagating internet or web 3.0, the sole reason is to provide a basic a good web experience. And for that, decentralization needs to be in place.
Got it. But don't you think like decentralizing the data would make it difficult to collect data in large amount to train our machine learning and AI models? Like the projects that
Yeah,
we're working on, we need a lot of data, right?
correct. So see, the fact is that sometimes the user is not even aware that their data is being, collected and it's being traded. Correct. And so suppose, there was a case on Facebook as well for the same reason. So what could be done is, if I am providing my data to someone, I can get incentivized. I can get a money on that, and that is fair enough. So everything that happens on blockchain is transparent, right? A level of trust is being maintained. So some kind of, something like that needs to be implemented in order to collect the data. I'm not against opposing that, but yes, the user A should be aware of that. B, if possible, if you're earning $100, then at least a few amount should be incentivized to the user whose data you are collecting.
Got it, got it. So we have one question from the attendees as well. They're asking how can blockchain handle large amount of data? Again, it depends on the number of OS the system is connected with, isn't it?
Correct. So as I explained that it's a network of computers. So the more computers, the easier it would be to handle the data. And that's why blockchain is basically a nascent technology. And everyone around us, be it Polygon, be it Shardium, all the blockchains are working on the scalability. Basically, this is the scalability that they are forming, a network of nodes that can handle loads. So yeah, this is the need of our. We want more and more people to get into blockchain to work on the scalability part, because we have kind of developed the trust and transparency to smart contract, which is immutable. Now we need to make it fast so that it can replace the traditional processes, the banking system. So suppose we do UPI, it takes like 10 to 5 seconds, but a blockchain transaction takes at least 20 to 25 seconds. So we want that kind of pace.
Okay, so does that mean like getting more nodes will depend on the hardware configuration that we have? Do we need to have certain kind of configurations in our systems to be able to join a good blockchain network?
Yeah, see, we would definitely need a configuration to join it, but also that depends on the consensus algorithm. So if it's proof of work, then yeah, a particular computational power needs to be there for you to become a node. But if it's proof of stake, again, that depends on the stake. And yeah, there are different kinds of consistent algorithm coming into place. So yeah, we can explore lots of them, and maybe we can come up with something new ourselves as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we have one more question. So what about if one system off to the network?
See, as I told, but the fault tolerance in blockchain is very high. So it doesn't matter if one system gets faulty. In central authority, if one server, any mishap with one server takes place, all the files stored in that server goes away. But if it's a distributed, decentralized network of computer, if one node is faulty, it does not make any change to the computer, to the blockchain. 51%. So suppose if there are 100 networks connected together, 51% of them needs to be hacked in order to make a change. If not, there's no problem with that.
Yeah. So, do we have any other questions from the audience? Okay, in case we do not have any further questions, I would like to close this session now. Thank you, Shrishti, for joining us. Thank you to all the attendees for joining us in. You can join our Slack channels and our social medias, and we'll share the details of how you can reach out to Shrishti or ask for any further doubts you may have. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you.